Thank you for visiting here. I'd like to welcome Huna Kahio, Tracy Curcio from over there in Huna Mauta, the Nashville, Turtle Island. We thank Shannon Whitlatch for joining us. Sandra Green Boyd, thank you so much for being here. Britt Suarez from Norway. Brother Jake Bouchard, thank you for visiting, brother. Robin Cabral there, the sunrise here in Maui. She's there in Maui, so we're having the sunrise ceremony, and they're being here with us all together at this moment. So thank you. Aloha. Aloha, Robin, and aloha to Alara. Una Kahoe, Rochelle Ferguson from Wisconsin. Hope I didn't get that wrong. Also, Jilly Bean, who is here with me now, just standing by. Thank you, Sandra Boyd. Wonderful honoring for the whole crew, and aloha to you. I'll just take this moment to continue allowing and inviting the energies of everyone to enter. Let me, just while people are coming, let me just share one or two things and one or two moments that have been happening. It's an incredible day today. This is, in the Lemurian calendar, this is Unra Ritohu, which is spoken of as the celebrated one, represented by the medicine of the humpback whale. The whale energy, the whale star nation is aligned in through this light that we speak of to the Lemurian calendar. So we speak of the celebrated one as the whale, the most celebrated being on the planet, which is the humpback whale. Rito. Unra Rito. Some very powerful understandings in the channels and the information coming through from the operating system over the last 48 hours, or last 72 hours actually. And many speak to it in their way. Many speak to it in the scientific, technical way. Some speak to it in just simple, very simple terms and very simple terminology. Words like influx, words like 7-point influx, words like spinning disc or the spinning human disc. Some speak to these things. And this is wonderful. This has been engaging. The Huna and the Lemurian, we're speaking to this as the golden compass. That which is, you can see right behind me, that which is below your feet. And so I'm just getting a high pitch ringing in my right ear right now, which is on the side of Father. I'm getting a high pitch ringing, so more downloads, more information coming in. More information coming in nanosecond by nanosecond. Yeah, it is incredible. Let me welcome Samara Steele. Hello, Samara. And Huna Mona has just joined. Welcome, Heather Wood. Hello again, Huna. Zachary Daniels, greetings. Welcome, brother. Just mentioning that we're getting messaging and downloads every nanosecond, and this has been, you know, waited for, understood for a while now. And perhaps the comprehension and the understandings are coming. The comprehension is bringing wonderful wisdom and knowledge with it. It's exciting. It is an exciting time. It's good to be spending time at home with you. I hope you're all still at home. I know everyone is being told to stay home, so I'm happy to be in your home with you at this time, so thank you. And so these past 48 hours with the golden compass moving but below your feet, some would speak of this as the spinning disc, spinning human disc. And that's also fun. Things are really spinning up, really spiraling up. Yeah, we are really spiraling up. We'll come to the moment soon we'll make a decision. That you will make a decision that each and every one on this wonderful Mother Earth will make a decision. The denunciation of certain systems being replaced by the upgrades, the system of upgrades, what I've been sharing with you for some time. And so, the coming of the Lemurian calendar, or the presence of the Lemurian calendar in alignment to the frequencies of the stargates. That a higher frequency access points to the current stargates you know, except they do have access frequencies and they are much higher. So for us to begin our journey now together, and we've come together here, as we have come together in our homes these past days, I made a post about 2 months ago. Someone asked me, what do you think about this virus about 2 months ago, back in February, and I made a joke about it. Why they got to pick on the Mexicans? The Corona. Yeah, of course it means crown. So just as serious joy, I made a post. And I suggested that this is a moment that we will all share a unified consciousness. As we have in the past, as we have in the once was, as we do in the now of all nows, if you like. There's a very teachable moment, like someone just recently said, that, and I posted that this is a unified consciousness moment, and we will see just how unified everybody comes together in their walk on in their life here. And so there's not so much walking happening other than going for your for health needs and wellness needs, and then back into the house, going for groceries and coming back. Short walk, but we're walking short steps together in the one consciousness. We're walking together in the one consciousness. Short steps. I used to say, hopane kopane, fiti te ra. 1 step, 2 step, and there you are. Are we doing this short step together? I used to sing that song to the Hunas many years ago. I'd like to welcome Brother Huna Manima of Uerehu, Nico Martins. My brother here has been with me, helping all this to be realized. Welcome Michael Kaminsky and Lara Nan, or was that Lara Nan? Excuse me. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. This show this is not really a show, I suppose. It's some kind of fun thing I'm doing. Turns out it's a lot of fun. Ask Huna Flash. You act like I know everything. I just know how I feel. I allow the feelings to come in. I allow them to settle, integrate, and understand them as I learn more feelings. So I'd like to invite a question. If I take one question before I invite my incredibly intelligent and wonderful special guest, Water Priestess, actually standing by there. But I'd like to field a question. If anyone has a question, someone asks, how are you? My Kik, she asks, how are you? I am wonderful, thank you. What a wonderful question. Thank you so much. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good. I've been doing all the wonderful things that one can do to take care of themselves and on the health and wellness side, and the wonderful things we can do to elevate our understandings and comprehensions. So thank you. I'm very fine. That was a simple question. Petra Mimosa sends her love from the Pacific Northwest. So happy to see you here. Huna Katitoka. Huna Katitoka. New names here. Some new names here. Melody Boha. Hi. Tammy Collins. Hi. So that was a short question. There's some comments here. They're wonderful. Stand strong. Michael Kaminsky, glad to be here now. Lara Nan says, I love you too. Hi, Lara. Oh, she was talking to Jake. I think, was that right? She said, I love you. Jake said, I love you. Nan says, I love you too. So hi, you too. There's a bit of a trinity going on here between the three of us. Jake Bouchard comments, clearing lifetimes and lineage here where he is. Very good. Continue through those feelings, brother. And Samara Steele, she greets me in my root language from Aotearoa, from the land of the long white dragon. Kia ora, Samara. Thank you so much for the wonderful greeting. Kia ora, or kia ora, means long life to you. It used to be an incredible juice, health juice, and I think it's still around somewhere. Hena Kusisto, Hena Kusisto, is that right, Hena? Hi, Hena. Just saw this live by accident and felt a call to drop in. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you, Hena. Sandra Boyd is over there in Waikiki in Oahu. So aloha. There's some questions. I better get down to these questions. Yeah, I'm just rolling along here saying hi to everybody, like I do. What is the question? I can't even see a question.
There's two. Melody Boria, hi. How do you know if you lived a past life in Atlantis or Lemuria?
Mallory Boha, she asked the question, how do you know if you lived past life in Atlantis or Lemuria? Do you go swimming with dolphins? Melody? Do you go swimming with whales? Are you journeying with them in the evenings? Yeah? Are you journeying with the whales and the dolphins in your night journeys, your evening journeys? Do you feel a connection to the Lemurian calendar? Do you feel the push away from certain constellations, certain star systems, and pushing yourself or even a pull towards a new way of operating, a new way, an ancient new way even. And there's some ancient new sounds coming to you. And there are some ancient new symbols showing up in your life. You know, everybody's seeing 444 and 111s and 1717 and 1001 and the 1331, 144. Are these numbers coming to you? They're coming to many. So, I mean, you're in the boat with us. I would say you're here right now. You are from Lemuria, but you're also from Atlantis. You have experienced these in terms of being here on this planet over these many lifetimes and over these many moments of Lemuria and the many moments of Atlantis. If you live anywhere near the Yucatan Peninsula, Cuba, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, Bahamas, you are in the presence of the first Atlantis. Perhaps you live in that area. If you live in Greece and Athens and around that area, in Italy and even across the shore in Alexandria, you are in the presence of second Atlantis. If you live in the area of Chile and down in South America over to the Pacific, you are in the presence of third Atlantis and part of the Antarctic. So if you live in the areas in Europe, in the areas of Europe, you are part of second Lemuria. Perhaps there's a memory. If you live in the areas of Indonesia, Bali, Thailand, and Sri Lanka, you are in third Lemuria. You are in the memory and in the region of third Lemuria before Atlantis. If you are in this area of Mexico and the Caribbean, you are in the presence of fourth Lemuria before first Atlantis, when the switchover came, when Lemuria ended in the last moment. We are now moving into Lemuria 5. That's why we refer to Lemuria calendar as an operating system OS 5, Lemuria OS 5, at a moment where Lemuria always returns at this moment of being triggered by what you are feeling and what is happening on the planet. So I hope that answers your question. It's a long way around it. It's not so personal, but then it is. Greetings to Huna Mauta, Kumara, Irene Renata. Welcome, sister. She joins us here now from second Atlantis, Athens. So Lara Nan, she is asking me, how can I find if I was a high priestess in my past life? I'll tell you what, before we move to that question, I will invite, I'd like to welcome and invite the Water Priestess to join us now and introduce her to you and invite her on here. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
How everyone? Aloha. Nice to see you.
Welcome to Ask Huna Flash. And perhaps they might have a question for you also. I wonder, there was a question that came from, I'm going to call her Super Nan. And she has a question. She said, how can I find if I was a high priestess in my past life, or what I was in my many past lives? Can I volley that question over to you?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
The name was Lara Nan.
Perfect. I have it pulled up on my phone too, so I'll be able to see the comments.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, go ahead.
I want to thank everybody for being here. It is such an honor to collaborate with you all for being on here. And I do go by the Water Priestess. I have an Instagram at Water Priestess that you can really find me more. I'm not as active on Facebook, but you know, that name, Water Priestess, was just divinely available when I was really waking up to my own memories of being a Water Priestess. And it's not limited to just the Water Priestess arcs. It's more of a name that just came through in that current moment. So who knows? If I evolve and expand, there might be a new name. So it's this always being like water. And the way that I usually answer this question is that when you know, you know. And your intuition into the ocean within you knows innately. All of the waters in your body have memory. And throughout your life, a lot of different things might manifest. Like you might resonate with a certain crystal, or you might resonate with a certain practice, and things just kind of start making sense, but yet not with your cerebrum, you know, your masculine mind. It's more of your cerebellum, which is your feminine. And this is what I call awakening the divine memory. And this divine memory usually awakens through your own embodiment and through your own experiences. And you start to view your life, wow, I really feel activated when I'm doing this, or wow, this really resonates with me. I feel that I've done this before. So it's really not in a labeled answer that you're going to get of like, yes, this is the time that I was a priestess, and you know, the specific. It's more of that feeling, and it's more of that divine remembrance within you that just goes, I'm not believing, I'm not in this time of believing, I know. And when you know, it's this deep inner knowing that you're able to anchor in. And once you start telling yourself, you know that I have been, that's when the waters within you will start to show you. And it's like she wants us to see her first. And I'm just speaking in she, he. Water is really androgynous, but I just like to refer to her as she. She wants you to see her. And the more that you can see the waters within you, the more that you'll be able to see these beautiful titles that you have had in past lives. And the more that you're able to recognize yourself and recognize the waters within your being, the more that will be shown to you. And, you know, when I say raw member, I say raw as in light, mem as in water, and ber as in bearer. And before I even met Huna Flash, I was really diving into the light and the water codes, and really unfolding the truth of how memory works within us. And oftentimes on a scientific level, the memory is stored, you know, it's in our subconscious minds, it's deep within our feminine waters, and our entire bodies are water. So you might notice that your body is moving a certain way, or that your body is drawn to a certain location because you're being drawn, your memories are activating, and you're being drawn to that place and magnetized to that place.
Yes, of course. And Supernan, if I can say Supernan, she replies that she's been told many times and was looking for confirmation, and she said thank you.
Yeah.
And exactly. Exactly. We are 100% water. Bone is water. Land is water. Sky is water. We are 100% water. And so thank you, Water Priestess, for that answer. Is there another question? Someone here is saying, Huna Katito Ka, she said, I know there's so much more to Earth history than the limited history, and we've been taught from storylines that's been available. Thank you for sharing this valuable knowledge. So wonderful. You know, as we're waiting for another question here, let's talk about how you and I met. Killy Bean, are you still there? You seem to have frozen. And then, okay. I'm sure she'll be back. She happened to disappear.
There was another question about the golden compass.
So just while she's making her way back here, seemed to be a technical glitch on that side. Sorry, who was that?
Karen Murphy.
So Karen Murphy, oh, hi, Huna.
She asked, what's the golden symbol behind you? Can you explain?
Karen asks about the golden symbol behind my head. Yes. This is the golden compass behind my head. This is planet Earth. Planet Earth. We refer to this as the golden compass, as this is source planet. This is source planet in this space, in this universe. This is what it has become. This is what it is now. This is all the nows. This is source planet. This is the heart of the universe. And so the golden compass referred to here is the part that's on the inside of the under your feet. Let's just say it's under your feet. The spinning disc, one had spoken, but also in its simplicity, yes, Earth. So under your feet is the golden compass. It is rotating and tracking every move of every being on the planet. Bring the best of what it can to you, bringing the best of the abundance to you. So as this is a golden compass, and I speak it to this way, it navigates all that is being brought for the abundance and benefit of mankind and all beings and forms on the planet. So we speak to it as a gyroscope of sorts, certainly golden compass. And you know, there's been movies. There's a movie called Golden Compass. As you can see on it, these lines that are on this golden compass are the ley lines or the crystal grid lines of the Motu grid or the birth sign grid. This is the birth sign grid, not so much the energy grid. We refer to it as a birth sign grid or the Motu grid. Okay, so she's, let me just see here. She's trying to come back in. Water Priestess. We used the same link. And other questions are coming. Dilly Bean, just use the same link on your messenger. Should be fine, and then just enable you back in again. So there's yeah, that's the golden compass. Part of the Lemurian calendar, part of each of these beautiful stargates and beautiful tourist fields are in stop motion for you to see. This is stop motion image. It's taking the tourist field, which moves very quickly, and stopping it so you can get a picture of what's connected to you, what's aligned to you through it, and including the stargate. And you're back. All right.
Hi.
No worries, thank you, made it. Just answering a question here. So that was the golden compass. So there's one more question. There's another question. There's a lot of comments. I don't know which one's a question. They're like comment questions.
Can you see me now?
Yes, see you very well.
Okay, perfect. So my computer just happened to freeze. So I'm on my phone.
Okay, so there's some super excited people here. Crystals, there's a question from Jake Bouchard, crystals for assisting in the 5G. And yes, yes, we were speaking about this the other day. Crystals that assist the 5G. Now, we work with a crystal we call the Kotahara. It's referred to as the Kotahara Moya, which means the crystal of the dream time. This crystal comes from the comet that came from the comet that of fourth Lemuria that landed in the Yucatan Peninsula. It's what created the Gulf of Mexico. The comet that landed in there is many thousands and thousands of years ago, when fourth Lemuria was here, before Atlantis. So there are still crystals coming from washing off that comet. Now, the crystals, they are pure, like pure quartz crystal, very fine, like very fine powder, like icing sugar. It's almost like baking powder. And it's very pure white color. It's a very 100% quartz, but has very, very powerful energy and vibration frequency, certainly. Sometimes we speak of that comet as just a comet, just speak of it as a comet, like when we say, but during fourth Lemuria, when the Dragon Wars and during the wars of that time with many nations, this comet is known by some of us as it was a weapon. Okay, so it was a weapon used during those times, and there's the time before when our first Atlantis arrived, before the Mayan temples, before all of that. And so this is how come Atlantis comes to be here on Goddess Island in Cozumel, in this area, as all the technology and the ancient knowledge was here. And so that comet wasn't natural. It was a weapon. And so that's the crystal that we work with. Now, the kotahara is a special grain. So what we do, what I do is I take a small hand towel, I place the grain on top of the hand towel, then I place my router. My router is running, I have 3 routers in this room right here, three different internet companies are running in here right now, all running 5G and 4G. And I take the routers and I disinfect their signal with the kotahara crystal, because I program the crystal. We program this crystal through Lemurian codes, and programming the crystals to do what we ask for it to do, what we need it to do, and it disinfects the Wi-Fi signal. Okay, so you step into the house of Huna here, you'll notice quite a different. You won't notice any Wi-Fi. It's very little. And so I know there are others using shungite and other crystals, but you can take another crystal if you want, and actually probably take quartz crystal and grind it down to it's a fine grain and do the same thing. Okay, so that's how we used the crystal. That's how we use the kotahara moya, the crystal of the dream time. The location of it is a bit of a, I'm going to keep that a little bit of a mystery for now. I will share it, but then I do share it. But at this moment, I'm going to keep a little mystery for you. Okay, another question here. Oh, someone wants to know how to write it and where to find it. Right now, I'm gonna keep a little bit of a secret, but I can post how to pronounce, how to write the name. It's Lemurian language, so if you know Lemurian language, then you'll understand the meaning of it. Kotahara. So even if I wrote it, it might be like, what is that? Okay, Zachary Daniels says, thank you for returning, Water Priestess. Yeah, I asked earlier, how did we seem to connect? We just seem to connect. And it wasn't that long ago, yeah? Could I invite you to share how that happened?
So I've been on this journey with water for about 7 years. And so my realm of study is really ionization, and what the earth does. She ionizes herself. We stand on the earth and these beautiful negative charges absorb in our bodies, and really actually finding out the original form of water actually has a negative charge as well. So I actually healed myself from ovarian cysts that were cancerous with this water called Kangen water, if you guys have ever heard of it. And it actually started my whole water journey. And as I started to expand myself and ask people questions, and it seemed to never really get an answer for anything. And so my water journey has been pretty independent, if you will, and it really grew into really perceiving abundance differently, and water abundance with currency and cash flow and liquid assets. And it really pulled me to reevaluating what this matrix actually is, and really helping myself decode the waters within me to realize that I am abundant. So throughout my whole path, I receive a lot of downloads about water, and I connect with her, and it's in my chart, and I was getting all these different answers from different astrologers at the time. And honestly, I never really resonated fully with astrology. I was always pulled towards different systems like human design and gene keys and those systems. But honestly, I never really dove into Western astrology or tropical or sidereal. So I was pretty open. And I started to receive some of these downloads about the Gregorian calendar and the Anunnaki. And I had an experience on ayahuasca as well with seeing the way that the system was set up, and just basically waking up to how the matrix actually works. And most of my downloads came from money and the system. And then I started to get the downloads about the Gregorian calendar and how our life force within us is water, and the matrix is really set up to where it's draining us and it's not hydrating us. And so I really teach about how to hydrate yourself spiritually, and then to notice what's draining you, what is dehydrating you on an energetic level, not just a physical level. So I was getting all these downloads, and then I connect with a friend, and I have been really connected with Hawaii, and we have a huge sales team, of course, too. We all sell the water systems, and so our entire movement turned into this kind of like ascending together and really uncovering the truth of what is really going on in the system, and being guided to hold a retreat in Hawaii, which we did. And we were activating the water and light codes there with the rainbows, and did a little bit of inner earth work with the core. But everything that I do, all the grid work that we do as a tribe and as a community within our movement, is always towards water. It's always about water. So the truth of the water and the light codes were being shown to me. And then just around the coronavirus time, I was experiencing all of this abundance. And I mean, people were just ready to learn about water. And I was like, whoa, 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 what's going on? And I felt another activation, something was going on, to where I was able to perceive the truth of the system and really help people kind of transition from losing their jobs into building abundance for themselves, and in that way. But then I started getting these downloads about the 13th sign of the calendar, and how integrating this 13th sign was like integrating the feminine. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. But yet the waters were telling me, don't attach to that. Don't attach to that. So I'm like, trusting everything. And then somebody on my Instagram sent me Huna Flash's video. And I was like, oh yeah, it's Lemuria. Duh. I'm just waking up to memories of Lemuria. Okay, cool. And I realized that everything that I had been structuring was like preparing people for this calendar. And every conversation we've been having in our community, and a lot of the people I'm connecting with right now, are also having those conversations about the old system and how to integrate these new earth systems, and whether it be financial or business or personal, spiritual. And so when I found his video, it wasn't actually it was about the Lemurian calendar, but it wasn't actually in depth. So I just kind of, let it go. And what I do with my social media is I really let people in on the download. So I had posted this flow about him, and then he ends up contacting me.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's like,
Hi.
yeah. And mind you, I had no idea what you did or anything like that. And then this other brother in our community, Josh, he's also from Hawaii. He has a really, his family's from Hawaii, but he has a really deep connection there. And we were also really attracting a lot of people from New Zealand into our business. So I was like, okay, New Zealand's coming in, Huna Flash is coming in. I'm going to, dive into this further. And it was like I was structured perfectly to just click on in this system. And as soon as I heard him talk, and as soon as I really connected with Huna Flash, but your community too, you know, looking at your website and just feeling it, letting my waters guide me and not letting my mental construct get in the way. It's just really letting that magnetism happen. I just decided to dive in, and I was like, you know what, I'm getting the signs and I'm letting the water lead me. And, you know, just because I can't comprehend it here yet mentally, that's not what it's about. It's about absorbing. And I really felt this divine cohesiveness. It's like this ability to absorb what Huna Flash is saying. And I was like, I literally was like, okay, I'm here now. I'm this new person. That's the old me. And I'm bringing this to light and I'm ready. You know, it's kind of like one of those activations. So that's how we met.
It was when, of course, when we connected for myself and meeting you here like this, you know, memories of Lemuria came back, memories of Atlantis, not simply just you in any lifetime or anything like this, but the flow, connecting to the flow with you was more of, was the feeling. That was the feeling I was getting. And there was no resistance. There's no resistance in whether or not we had questions for each other, or whether or not we had inquiries, or whether we had any kind of like, you know, what would be like no interrogation.
Yeah.
No interrogation going on, and no suspicions. It was just wide open flow, you know. And then all of a sudden, Water Priestess and myself, and then others as well, are starting to connect. Of course, we all flow together. We're all finding the water together. We're getting in that one memory I refer to as the one drop a lot of times, and we just seem to flow right into here. We are asking the Flash question, and now she's right here, and help and expanding the comprehension for all of us. And certainly all of us who are here who are watching, there are some who are here that are watching, and welcome others that are here. Huna Hazara over there in Augsburg in Germany, and all of her community there, and so many more who have just popped in. Amara Adama Samida, who's watching, he's over there in Kauai, I think. It's good to see you, brother. We're expanding through this flow of comprehension, and expansion and contraction is required. So we're kind of open, and then we squeeze down again, and then we open even further, and it was like a squeeze box. It's like that makes that crazy squeeze box sound. Like someone making some crazy sounds lately, really. And there was some crazy sounds coming down of this planet lately. And the Schumann resonance is revealing some of these crazy intervals that it's hitting on these interesting frequencies and these interesting intervals that this flow for Jelly Bean and I will refer to her as Jelly Bean. That's quite a, and so it just flowed right into where we're moving through towards now. Of course, we are looking forward to gathering with more in the communities, and certainly, well, I've offered up an invitation to everyone to for the global denunciation, dedication, and meditation, to denounce the operating systems, its agendas, and those that are behind it. As the listeners learned, many lessons learned in the past 4 Lemuria, as we move into the 5th Lemuria, and that many lessons have learned that now the templates are being adjusted so that the free will is now allowed to let those lessons now be integrated in, and so that we can move on. Yeah, we go more on the inside with this, and then higher. And so this is the kind of a moment where we're at with that. And the denunciation is part of this, releasing all the old patterns, but not just releasing them. If we globally outright denounce it, like we have never done before. Maybe we have in the nows, but okay, I'm suggesting this. And so with everyone here watching, and thank you for this moment, that we can share that moment together where we denounced the systems that have been operating through society civilizations for these past 5,000 years, right? And who's in charge of some of those factions today that be denounced? And, you know, Mother reminds me that throughout the short term, there is a sting, but in the long term, there's positive change. So we can flow through this in that way, yeah? Let me thank you. There was, yeah. So that's how our meeting has been, kind of just flowing through. Now I'm like learning how to do things on Instagram, right?
Yeah, and I want to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother world, right? And like most people watching this know all about Instagram, and I know a little bit, but not in terms of like, okay, let's blow this up.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful to see it through the water lens of what's currently happening. And you know, the way that I've been able to communicate what we're going through the water lens is it's more of a liberation of the waters. It's really setting the waters free. And if you can just imagine the waters in your being energetically, like really being limited, that's what the Gregorian system was doing. And to be able to liberate our waters and really free them is to really release any of those energetic programs or systems that might be in play in denouncing it. And so that is the way of the water. This is what has been coming through for me, and to be aligning with your path. That's kind of what I do, is I'll take, obviously let it alchemize. And I definitely went in my own pace. You know, when I first heard about the calendar, I was like, oh, okay, you know, let this alchemize. And I'm kind of like that slow and steady turtle pace all the time, which kind of drives some people crazy, but you got to just let it absorb and let yourself feel it as truth. And once you feel it as truth, it's like, now for me, I'm ready to bring people to this who are ready for this and who resonate with it, and not in that way of like being like, this is the new system and this is the way it has to be. It's more of a resonance, and being able to align that resonance with the absorption so that people can feel it, and there's that free will there, you know, that's free.
Yeah. Like many doors that have been created, the stargates and the systems that are behind those doors, there's frequencies and codes to enter these doors. They must resonate with you, right? And so, and certainly I think everyone is resonating much higher, vibrations are higher. And I feel that's how we understand Lemuria is returning, is a moment before distortion. Lemuria is not so much a place as per se, but a moment before distortion, a moment before the first confusions. And so this is when I refer to first light, and Lemuria as first light, what I'm referring to as a moment before distortion on this planet. And over time, distortion does come over the millions and thousands of years of the civilizations that we know, we've learned to listen. Now, of course, we're all from different parts of the universe, but I'm speaking to those of you who are here, and I am speaking to those who are about to enter here, and I'm speaking to those who are standing by on a waiting list that want to come here, and we wish to welcome them in the highest forms of vibration possible, so that they arrive through a system that is being returned, so that those that enter into this new world enter with zero distortion. And the system is being brought online now, being brought back. OS5 and Lemuria itself is upgraded as a destiny omniverse through those special doors and those special gates that you are beginning to resonate to. And certainly as we bring the calendar to you, in the simplest way that we can, some of those codes that are spoken or written on that calendar begin to help you resonate into those frequencies, the much higher, to connect to those stargates that have higher frequencies. The same stargate that you know of, for example, is Sirius B. That same stargate in another frequency is known as Rehu, which is an access gate to the destiny omniverses, including the dolphin and star nations that come through there. The Mer and all the beings and those vibrations. So the frequency of the same door changes when you are speaking and working with the Lemurian codes at that same Stargate. Sirius B becomes Rehu, and it's on this Stargate here. I want to steal a moment very quickly, and I want to invite my brother to say hello right over here to this camera right here, if I can invite him. Well, he is from that Stargate, as most are, but he is from Rehu. And brother Huna Manima, Nico Martins, as you may know of him. I want you, now look, everybody's here right now. So that's great. And Huna Manima of the Rehu Stargate in Lemuria has a new system he's bringing online called Uwe Rehu, which refers to the rainbow dolphin. And the rainbow dolphin is an understanding of source knowledge and wisdom and technology and super intelligence, of which, which he's been helping me with expanding, and many others. So I just wanted to take the moment as I was talking about Rehu. So, so as we flip the frequencies. When we denounce that operating system, we move back into a higher, and we clear the slate, which means we clear out. Then we recharge the system, so charging the system, and then we install the new command control system, the operating system at the higher frequencies, and then we converge it all. And we are going through this stage right now where we're beginning to recharge your system. We're clearing the slate, charging your system, and installing the new control system, which is the OS5. I speak to it as the OS5. It's real simple. Lemurian operating system, version 5 for Lemuria 5. Fifth dimension moment. It's another moment that's here. It's the fifth moment of Lemuria. And so I refer to it very simply that way, that we all come from many omniverses, yes? So just get a little long-winded there, sorry, but I just thought I'd spit that out. Is there a question directly for the Water Priestess? Is there a question out there directly?
I would, since you were talking about 5G, I would love to offer some water knowledge on anybody that is looking to transmute the 5G. You know, that seems to be a common thing. And if you guys have ever looked into living water before, essentially what the 5G is doing to us on a physical level is it's creating free radicals in our bodies. And essentially what that is it's when your cell loses an electron and your cell becomes a free radical, and then it goes and steals the electrons from the other cells. And that's basically what oxidation and aging is. So in the body, that's like the scientific term for aging, or, you know, getting sick or inflammation or anything like that. So essentially what living water, you know, water in its most original form that's alive and abundant in electrons, is it becomes an electron donor. So when you're drinking living water, you can actually neutralize the free radicals in your body. So I know that we're talking about all these crystals and beautiful structures and what we use to neutralize the 5G, and water is a huge part of that. And crystals are just a solidified form of water. You know, water comes in all phases of matter. So when I study water structure, it's like I'm studying liquid crystal. That's what it is. And your aura is your protective field around you. And your aura is also, in scientific terms, is made out of plasma, which is the fourth phase of water. So we're talking liquid, solid, gaseous, and then plasma. So if your aura is plasma, and your aura is dehydrated, you will have holes in your aura, and the radiation and the EMFs are actually going to affect you more and cause that, you could say, dehydration and oxidation and aging through that process. So essentially what living water does is it activates your aura. It actually activates your body to fight off anything that is manifesting. So part of the work that we're doing, and obviously that Huna Flash is doing, is that we're taking back our power, right? And we're liberating ourselves in our waters. And, you know, really moving back to our original blueprint, our divine blueprint, you know, blue water. So when we start to look at all the issues that we have in our society, we really love to invite people to learn more about the different phases of water, and that really it's just going back to basics to help you neutralize these things. And in my experience, I've been drinking living water for about 7 years. So I haven't been sick in 7 years. And mind you, I started with cancer. So it's been a really big journey. And with the coronavirus as well, there is also a 2.5 pH water that kills 99.9% of bacteria. This is also the water work that I do in educating people on the different, just different pHs of water, you guys. You know, you can really start to.
Can I get that 2.5 in the peach flavor?
Yeah, actually. It's so funny. I seriously have people coming over to my house to fill up water for all the hand sanitizer people are using, because you can just use 2.5 water.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the water. You know, someone mentioned in a comment just a minute ago, yeah, laugh, LOL, water, frozen water. Well, I'll just share something about the frozen water. Let me speak these codes to you all if you're listening. Ma, ha, ka, wa, ta, hi. What I just spoke was ma, first light, ha, first breath, ka, first birth, wa, first love, ha, first stone, hi, first fire. Now, first stone, ta, first stone is ice. The first stone is ice. It's what this planet was created by water, but it was the first stone. And inside that stone were all crystals. All crystals. Yes, it's a big stone, but it's frozen water that you would, someone was just saying, I forgot who made the comment, frozen water. Yes, in the time in the beginning of this planet, it was spoken of as first stone, and that comes from frozen water that was frozen. And inside it, when first fire came to it, opened and created, opened, and all manner of crystals came from within, creating this planet. And that's a legend that comes from the Muria, from a story. A memory or a feeling, it comes from the whale and the dolphins, the creators of this planet. Wow. Let me say that again. So, you know, it is my memory. Okay, it's just my memory. Okay, maybe I'll make a painting. But the story I have and the memory I have of it is that the whales and the dolphins created this planet from first stone. Many star nations, in other words, involved here. So thank you for that. 2.5, yeah, 2.5.
Yeah. And you know, it's so interesting is that I got this download about ice. And because technically what we're in is an isolation. Isolation. And what happens, right, with water, one thing fascinating about water on a scientific level is that you learn that it contracts and expands. When everything else is expanding, it's contracting. When everything expanding, yeah, exactly. The ice. And so basically I feel that we're being frozen during this isolation so that we can expand. And if you allow cohesion to remain hydrophilic, you will float in the conduit of it more, meaning that if you surrender into it more and not resist the current, you're going to naturally contract and expand with the waters of the planet, because you are water and you're part of the water cycle. And yeah, it's the beautiful, it's called a dipole between water. It has a positive and negative, and it has this magnetism that goes between it, and it's really fascinating. So
electrical engineering, a little quick 101 course on electricity, find that out.
Yeah.
We're right down to the wire now to just kind of wrap up in a second there. I just want to share What you see behind me is not an illusion. It's not a Photoshop. What you see behind me is a stop motion image of the torus field. There are 5 pieces here, but when they are joined together, they become one piece, which we refer to as sector 6. So all 5 pieces are 5 sectors in their stop motion where you are seeing them with me now. When they are in their active form, they become sector 6, which is the entire Hunascope. We refer to the Hunascope, but you know what I mean, the Uniscope. And the planet is at the center. So the golden compass and the Uniscope is the torus field flying around the planet. And we have it here in stop motion, and the upgrades and the beings are being channeled through, the information gets channeled through into the Lemurian calendar, coming down into the calendar. And of course, every year we upgrade the calendar with a new edition. So just to wrap up here, I want to thank my sister, my new young sister here, Jilly Bean, Water Priestess. Please tell them where they can find you.
Yes,
website.
you can find me at my Instagram is Water Priestess. And then you can also go to my website, thewaterpriestess.com, or you can just message me on Facebook as well. And I also do weekly webinars on this whole spirituality of water, and then also water science. And then we also have a water, kind of like learning about the water currency financial system. So you guys can look that up and attune with me. The webinars are free. They're all donation based. And, you know, we're raising money right now to get in local Native American tribal water system. So if you guys want to be a part of that, this is what it is. So thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you everyone for visiting again. I want to just give apologies for Crystal Boynton, who couldn't make it this time around. Obviously, she's working for, they're very busy as a nurse, and so she couldn't make it through this time. And so I want to thank her for even taking a try at it. Yeah, so much happening. I want to thank everybody here who's been buying this calendar. This calendar has been going out the door. And we will be bringing the webinar on May 3rd. It's a 2-hour webinar. Maybe we'll probably drag it out a bit longer. We'll see how we go. There's a ton of information in there to help you introduce yourself to it, if you resonate with it. Certainly, it's been going out the door. People have been getting it, and I really want to thank you all. It's helping us do what we do. And I look forward to another Ask Huna Flash, and seeing and being with you all again. I don't know who's coming along next time, but
Thank you. Aloha.
thank you all. Thank you, Jilly Bean. And we'll look forward to seeing you all again. Huna Flash. Oh, I have a little one for you. Huna Flash, news flash here from 2033. There's a little joke I made to Unify the other day before I get out of here. They were asking, what would it be like if you were in 2030, and tell us what you'd be doing? So I said, Huna Flash here from 2033. Here in 2033, there are no more cars, no more roads, no more buildings. Nature has returned to the planet, and there are no more clothing. We're all naked. So that's how we are. So we'll see you all in 2033 naked. I thought it was funny. Anyway, back to nature, right? Back to nature. Back to loving our planet. Waho wahi. Let me say, Tōna toke waho wahi. See you again.